to quickly go over your week 3 assignment and point out some specific things as you begin writing. So this week for your assignment, you're going to be focusing on standards alignment. So basically what that means is when developing lesson plans or an instructional plan, really keeping focus in ensuring that your standards, your learning objectives, your assessments, your instructional practice are all aligned. And this is just crucial because, what we need to teach needs to match how we're teaching it and how we're assessing it. So if you've ever taken a test before, and as you're looking through the questions, if you ever thought to yourself, I don't remember learning this, I don't remember the instructor teaching us about this, that's where there's some misalignment that might be present. So that's why when we're developing lessons as educators, a really important design is the backward design model. And that's not something that we talk in great length or really delve into in this course. You will in future courses like EDU 645. However, this whole backward design is essentially starting with the end in mind. So if you think about baking a cake, you don't think about putting a bunch of ingredients together and hope that the end product is a chocolate cake. Instead, you think, okay, the end result needs to be a chocolate cake, and I will use the ingredients necessary to make that happen. So the same idea applies when we develop our lesson plans. The end in mind needs to be how you're assessing the students, and then we figure out what the instructional practice is going to be to make sure we, what we're assessing our students on is what we're actually teaching. And then of course, you always start with your standard and learning objectives first. Then you think about your assessments and then the instructional practice. So this particular assignment is just going to encourage you to think more about that whole process. And so here's the assignment instructions. You need to read chapter 7 in both the text, the Newman and the Lopez text. The reflection part is just something to get you thinking about as you're doing your readings. So what I might suggest is as you're reading, maybe copy and paste this into a Word document and jot some notes as you're reading if you make any connections among these things. Then in terms of the content of your paper, it should be written in third person. And then let's see, if you scroll down to the bottom right here, the writing and formatting expectations, the standards alignment paper link right here, this will take you to this template that's already set up for you and provides you a bit more guidance on what you need to do. The purple boxes are just additional insights. As you're writing your paper, just make sure you delete those before you submit your final paper up to Waypoint. And so the first thing, obviously, you're going to write an introduction. And one thing I want to encourage you all that I'm seeing is that some of you are listing what the paper is about. And when we're writing our introduction, we really want to steer away from that. You want to start your introduction with something that's going to hook the reader, and then an overview of your topic, and then a clear thesis statement. And this link right here, the introductions and conclusions, will take you to the Writing Center and provide you some further guidance and even examples of introductions to help you. So then the focus of the rest of your assignment is aligning standards to instruction and kind of examining each component of that process. So the first thing is to talk about the steps for alignment. So describe how you will ensure that alignment exists with your instruction. This is where you want to share your approach, method, and steps for aligning standards when you develop your instructional plans. Discuss the importance of maintaining alignment among the standards, learning objectives, assessments, and instructional plan. That's what I talked about in the beginning of this video. I should see citations, so referencing back to the textbook website or even articles that you may have found. Just make sure that you're not heavily relying on direct quotes. You should work on paraphrasing, and one great strategy to do that is to read something that you want to put in your paper to support your analysis. Look away and jot down in your own words what you just read. That is a great way to paraphrase. It's a method that I use myself as well. But again, make sure that you're connecting to your readings to support your analysis here. Then you're going to do any use group system based on Lopez's reading for the week. That's chapter 7. You'll want to describe how the influence of any use group system of keeping it practical assists or hinders standard alignment. And again, make sure you provide reference to the readings to support your analysis. Then it's the exceptional collaboration. Explain how a system of exceptional collaboration, as described in NEU, promotes quality standards alignment. Consider how collaborating with your colleagues would support that standard alignment. And again, I should see citations to support your analysis. Then you're going to discuss the issue of pacing versus alignment. So describe in detail the difference between pacing and alignment and your personal view. So I should see a clear description and difference between the two, and then tell me why it would be important to know this difference. And again, provide citations so you're making connections between the reading and your analysis. And then you're going to have your conclusion. And then also to, like I mentioned, all throughout the boxes there's links to the Writing Center to help you with some things if you struggle with them. And then APA, and then you'll have your references. And here is additional guidance on how APA should be formatted. Also, if anything you cite in your paper, it must have a matching reference. And likewise, if it's listed in your reference page, it has to be cited in your paper. And the whole purpose of that is, as the reader's reading your paper, they can look up down to the reference page and see what that reference is, so they can look it up if they, so choose. So that is your paper in a nutshell. And I just wanted to emphasize it must be 2 to 3 pages, double spaced. This does not include the title page and reference page. And then I'm going to post an announcement about academic voice, but here's additional information here as well. And that's, again, your academic voice is present when I see references to the readings. You do have to use at least one scholarly source or credible source. I encourage you to go to Ashford's library and perhaps find an article, but you also need to cite the Teaching and Learning text by Newman and No Excuses University. So in your reference page, I should see a total of 3 cited sources. And then I just wanted to quickly point you in the direction of the grading rubric. Make sure you review the rubric and the criteria that I'm looking for. You'll scroll through and it'll give you what the criteria is and the different levels or different proficiency levels. So what I encourage you to do is to take this rubric after you've completed your assignment and evaluate it yourself. What grade would you give yourself? And if you see anything that's lacking, then that's a great opportunity for you to make revisions to your work to make it stronger. But I hope this provides the clarity on this, any clarity that may have been needed for this assignment. If you have other questions, again, don't hesitate to reach out to me. You can also post questions within this announcement, and I'd be happy to answer them that way as well. But have fun with this assignment, and I'm looking forward to reviewing your submissions. Have a great week.